Hi, today we are using more estimation to measure, and today we are talking about length. Length is how long, how short, how tall, how high, how deep, how far something is. And so when you want to know the length of something, you use certain tools. But right now, before we get to the tools, we are just going to estimate. And I wrote that word for you yesterday, and I'm going to write it again today. Estimate. It means to use what you know about the units to kind of figure it out using what you know. So it's an educated guess, not just a random guess. So we talked about units yesterday. Some of the units we talked about were inches, and we said that's the smallest, feet, yards, and miles. And we even gave you abbreviations yesterday. So just remember, an inch would be from your first knuckle to your second knuckle. A foot is a square tile on the floor of Walmart or the floor of the classroom. Yards is 3 square tiles on the floor, or if you go, remember we talked about Tamaya, who is a student in our class whose arms go, when she stretches out her arms, it's about a yard. And then miles is all the way from Propel McKeesport to the McKeesport Bridge. And so you have to visualize those things as well as these pictures. So a short activity we're going to do today in this lesson is looking at these pictures and determining what we would use to measure, what would be a better estimate. So we have a picture of a baby bottle, and the choices are, is this baby bottle about 7 inches or 7 feet? And you have to think about a baby bottle. It's used to feed a baby milk. And so you think about how tall it's going to be. 7 feet would be 7 squares on our floor in the classroom. That would be a huge baby bottle. And so I don't think we would use a bottle that's 7 feet, but 7 inches would be 7 small units across. And so inches would be the units that we would choose for this. That would be the best way to measure this bottle and the best estimate of how big the bottle is, how long, how tall. And then we have a picture of a dinosaur. And I know the dinosaur looks small in this picture, but we're actually talking about a real dinosaur. And so we've seen movies. Jurassic Park has dinosaurs. If you go to a museum, you can see dinosaur bones. And even if you've seen the movie Night at the Museum, they have a big a replica of dinosaur with bones. Replica is just a making of it with bones. It looks like it a little bit, but not exactly. And so we think about inches. Those are very small. If you think about a foot, one ruler has 12 inches in it. And so when you think about how big that is, you could also go from the crease in your arm where your elbow is all the way to the tips of your fingers. And if it's an adult, from the crease of their arm to the end of their arm before their hand is about a foot. So when you think about that, 2 of those together plus a couple more inches would be way too small for a dinosaur. But 27 feet, which is 27 of those, would be just a good estimate of how big a dinosaur is. And here we have a bow tie. You think about a bow tie, someone wears it around their neck, and if they wore something that was 4 feet around their neck, they probably wouldn't be able to get in some doorways. So that would be too big. But inches is a good estimate. Now, I'm going to number the rest of these. Number 1, 2, 3. I'm going to scroll down because I have several things. 4, 5, and 6. And what I would like for you to do is to tell me which would be the better estimate for each of these things in the picture. I want to draw your attention to this. This is a jet ski, and the person rides on it in the water. And they need to be able to sit on it, and this one even looks like two people will be able to sit on it and ride across the water. Again, here's a boat, and people can get on this boat. Several people can get on this boat and ride across the water as well. So I want you to think about all those things, and I would like you to answer which ones you think. So you can pause and you can go to Edmodo and you can go ahead and answer the questions about the bus, the stapler, the jet ski, the loaf of bread, the soccer ball, and the boat. Okay.